start recording. So welcome in. I think this is officially the end of week 2 of lockdown. So just as we have been, let's just start with some breath work. So I want you to be comfortable. Really doesn't matter how you could sit, you could lie if you're tired. I guess the only downside of lying down is you might not want to get up again, but that's fine. This is your practice. So just as a reminder, take responsibility for your practice. It's really hard for me to see what you guys are doing. So this is more me leading rather than teaching specifically. Although Catherine, we will come to Chaturanga and talk a little bit like that about that. But get comfortable. And whatever position you're in, the key thing is to think about having a spacious spine, and so that the rib cage can gently expand and contract. Let the eyes come to a soft close, or if the anxiety is quite high this evening and closing your eyes doesn't feel helpful, then maybe just have a soft gaze, look down to the floor in front of you. And just take these first few moments to just simply connect in with your breath. So feel how the breath is moving in your body. Maybe noticing an expansion of the ribs on the in-breath, allowing the lungs to find space, and a contraction on the exhale, helping the air move out of the lungs. And we really don't need to do anything fancy with our breath. It really is simply enough just to notice it and to stay with it. Preferably breathing in and out through the nose, unless you've got some kind of congestion and it makes it difficult to breathe in and out, and by all means involve the mouth, but generally try and keep it to nasal breathing. And we'll just spend these first few moments sitting or lying quietly. And once you've got the feeling for your breath and its natural rhythm, then check in with yourself. How are you feeling? And that may be really easy to tune into, or it may be much harder. And if it is difficult to work out how you're feeling, then it's fine. This isn't another reason to sort of beat yourself up. It's just a useful practice. But if it isn't available, then that's fine. Just stick with the breath. Couple more moments here before we start to move. And then from here, we're going to come to a standing position. So bring yourself up. Doesn't really matter how you get there. And stand with feet maybe hip width apart, just so that you can be really stable. Soft knees, and just take a little bounce to begin with, so you can really feel how the weight is distributed around and across the feet. Think about the shoulders being over the hips, so we're not leaning forward, not leaning back, nice and stacked ankles, hips and shoulders. Gaze is straight ahead, so the slight tuck of the chin, so there's some length through the crown of, through the back of the neck, crown of the head is lifted. And you may feel that as a lift up through the pelvic floor, but you're not pulling, you're not forcing anything. Then I want you to bring your hands, palms facing up. And then just for a moment, I want to take your right thumb and press it into the palm of your left hand, really quite hard. And then swap over to the other side. And then hold both palms facing up. Feel where you pressed. And almost imagine that you're holding two glowing balls of energy. We're just going to work with those. So we're going to inhale, lift the arms. And then as you exhale, gently allow the hands to come down. So it's almost like a Tai Chi movement. Inhale, draw up. And exhale, release down. So drawing energy up through the body from the earth. And then exhale, letting it come down. And can you feel the change of pressure through your feet as you bend and straighten the legs? And you maybe want to bring the arms up higher and then down. Couple more like this. And then we're going to change the movement. So exhale. So arms out and then arms in as you exhale. Inhale. So it's almost like your arms and your hands are mirroring the movements of your rib cage. So take them out and draw in. Couple more. And then start to add a little bit more free form to this. So maybe exploring moving in different directions, letting go of any sense of what you think this should look like. Just move the body, feel as if you're moving energy. And you can be as small or as expansive as you feel like, but just get this sense of your body being a channel to move energy. Keep going. Just when you feel like you think you want to stop, can you breathe and just keep moving, just keep feeling this energy flowing through you. A lot of us at the moment may be spending a fair amount of time sitting. It's just really good to get just this sense of flow through the body in a gentle way. Couple more. And then we're going to actually take this into circles. So you're going to circle the arms up to the ceiling and then down to the opposite side, drawing out in front of you and then round to the side and up again. And again, the circles can be as small or as dramatic as you want them to be. And they can be as slow or as fast as you want them to be. You don't need to follow my speed. Take it in the opposite direction. And then come back to stillness. We'll just take some rotations. So start small, just bringing the arms side to side. You can turn the head, or you can keep the gaze forward. Just feel that twist through the mid-body. And then maybe start to speed it up a little bit. Get some more energy, get some more heat going. Maybe the knees get involved as well. You don't have to. This isn't a dance, this is just moving freely, twisting. So basically moving the spine through all of its ranges of motion without overthinking it. And then come back to stillness. Draw your arms down by your side. Let the hands feel heavy. Close your eyes. Come back to the breath. And just notice whatever you feel in your body. So we'll move on to warming up through the joints now. So we'll start with the ankles. Going to weight through the left leg, bring the right foot out in front of you and point the toe and then flex the foot. So inhale as you point and exhale as you flex. And if you're having a wobbly day, lean against something, because this is about the movement in the ankle joint, not about your balance. So a couple more like that. And then keeping the right foot raised, just going to turn the ankle out and then in. Quite hard to isolate the ankle, so the leg will move a little bit as well, but just see as much as you can, draw the pinky toe edge away and then back into the center. And then give that ankle a rotation in one direction and then the other. And then we'll take it on the other side. So come onto the right leg, ground through the foot, extend the left leg and point as you inhale and exhale, flex. And point and flex. Turn that light that way a little bit. Couple more. And then we're going to turn the foot out and in. So this side, I've got much more movement in this left ankle than I do on my right. Interesting. So draw the little toe down and then the big toe. Have I said that? I can't do it anymore. And then rotations of the ankle. Good. Lovely. And then just give everything a little bit of a shake and we'll come down onto all fours. So start to mobilize through the spine and through the hips. So firm up through the hands. As you inhale, draw the chest, broaden through the collarbones. And as you exhale, round. Move through cat and cows with your breath. And any variations, any modifications that you want to make them now. Just move in that way that feels good in your body. That doesn't necessarily mean it feels easy, but it feels like it's introducing spaciousness, mobility. Couple more rounds. And then we're going to come to stillness. Extend the right leg out behind you. Press through the heel. Take a nice, long, steady inhale. And then as you exhale, draw that right knee forward, roll round into the upper back as you exhale. And then inhale, extend the leg again. Draw it in, so moving the leg bone in the hip socket. Keep going. Trying to isolate the movement so we're not swinging the rest of the body around. Couple more. Imagine that you're moving through treacle. That's how slowly I want you to move. And then come back. And we'll take it on the other side. So we're going to extend the left leg out behind. And then draw the knee in towards the chest. Round if that helps. Inhale, find length. And exhale, round in. Couple more. One more. And then come back. We're just going to bump the hips from side to side. So keep the arms nice and square and just drop the hips so you feel a stretch to the outer hips. Two more on each side. Good. And then come back to stillness. Find your tabletop. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the ceiling. Stretch through the armpits. And then exhale, thread that right arm underneath, come down onto the right shoulder, side of the head. Hopefully you guys know thread the needle. If I demo, my ear things fall out. So just find your thread the needle. And then any variations that you want to explore. So maybe you want to draw the left hand forward. Maybe the left leg reaches out to the side. The left arm could then lift up towards the ceiling or even come with the bend of the elbow onto the lower back. So the back of the hand resting on the back of the right hip. If you're feeling really stable, then you could try a balance here by raising that left leg away from the ground. If you're going to do that, just make sure you've got space on the right side, because if you roll, make sure you don't bang into anything. If you're playing with the balance, then gently let that left leg come to rest down on the floor again. And on an exhale, unwind, come back to tabletop. And then use your next inhale to lift the left arm up. Really reach so you get that big stretch through the armpit, through the front of the chest, and then exhale, thread the needle through. And then walk the right arm forward. Maybe the right leg moves out to the side. And then, yeah, playing. And finding some playfulness in your practice. If that's what you feel like this evening, it may be not. It may have been a challenging day, and actually what you need to do is feel grounded and connected and held rather than taking flight. On your next exhale, gently unwind and come all the way back into your tabletop. Curl your toes under and lift up into down dog. So little bend in the knees. We're going to inhale, rise right up onto the balls of the feet. So as you exhale, hover the knees down. Inhale, lift the sit bones high. And exhale, maybe the heels come a little further down to the floor. Inhale, lift high on the balls of the feet. As you exhale, keep the arms firm, bend the knees. Inhale, lift up high again. And exhale, let the heels release down. Doesn't mean they touch the floor, that's fine if they don't. Last time, inhale, high. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release down. Good. Take a twist from here. So you may want to shorten and fatten your down dog. So take the legs wider and draw them in a little bit. Same with the arms. Take an inhale. Feel as if you're drawing air up into the right armpit. I know that sounds a bit strange. And then exhale, take your right hand underneath the body to the back of the the left calf, the left ankle, or the left thigh, or even the back of the knee. Take another inhale here, and then as you exhale, twist so that you're looking under your left armpit. Press the weight back into both feet so that you're not rocking forward too much into the hand. Keep twisting. So it's good for us to be inverted like this. We were talking earlier about skin benefiting from not having makeup, but also benefits from getting some fresh blood supply. One more inhale, and then exhale, slowly unwind, come back to your down dog position. Take another inhale, draw the energy, feel the air lifting up into that left armpit, and then as you exhale, left hand underneath the body, back of the right calf, ankle, thigh, and use an exhale to twist you in the opposite direction. Every exhale, maybe there's a little bit more space to go a little bit deeper. One more breath. And then exhale, unwind back to your short fat down dog. And then we're going to walk the feet towards the hands, towards the front of the mat. Soft knees, grab hold of opposite elbows, let the crown of the head reach down. It's almost as if the elbows are being drawn down to the earth. Your chest is coming down towards your thighs, so do bend your knees if the backs of the legs are tight. Get that traction through the spine. And then we're going to keep hold of the elbows in our ragdoll, press through the feet, and very slowly, muscles hugging into bone in the legs, stand all the way up, keeping your ragdoll arms, lift up tall. So the elbows lifting up to the ceiling. We'll take a side bend, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, let's bend over to the right. And watch the tendency of the, your left shoulder to swing forward. Keep it facing in the same way as the hips. Inhale back up. Take an exhale here. Inhale, lift up again, and then exhale over to the opposite side. I find these side bends incredibly difficult, particularly to keep the breath flowing freely. It's also very difficult to say that, breath flowing freely. Inhale up, exhale, release down, and just give the shoulders a wiggle one way and the other. We'll come to the front of the mat now. We're going to take 3 rounds of a traditional sun A. So we're going to move through high plank down to low plank into a back bend. So we'll start, I'd suggest maybe starting with Sphinx or Cobra, and then maybe after the first one, if you're feeling energetic, you could come into up dog. So standing firm, either feet together or hip width apart, soft knees, inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, soft knees, fold down, forward fold. Find your halfway lift. And then soften the knees, hands down, step back to high plank. I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about yogic press up or chaturanga. So maybe for this first round, let's everyone drop their knees unless you know that you've got a very firm chaturanga. So in traditional yogic press up, the elbows draw back behind you and your chest comes forward and we come down in a straight line. We don't necessarily come all the way down to the floor, and then we slide into the back bend. And then curl the toes under and lift back to down dog. And just stay in your down dog and mo, breathe. So chaturanga is traditionally the elbows come back behind you, and at most there's a 90-degree angle between the forearm and the upper arm. But that might not work for everyone position-wise. Some people might do better with a much wider hand position and elbows moving up towards the ceiling or more out to the side rather than behind. So it's worth experimenting with what's comfortable for you, because there's so many different factors that could contribute to what's comfortable. And it's a transition. So it really, from my perspective, doesn't matter if it doesn't look. It's about safety and building strength and resilience in the shoulder joint, rather than getting too hung up on the fact that the elbows should be moving back behind you. We'll come into a flow now. I'll start you off with the sun salutations, and then I'm going to leave you to do 2 extra rounds on your own. So come right up on the balls of your feet as you inhale, and as you exhale, walk or hop or skip or jump towards the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down, root through the feet, and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands into heart center. I'm going to cue you through the first round now, and then leave you for 2 on your own. So inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Make your way back to plank, however you want to get there. Decide if you're going to drop the knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, gentle back bend. And exhale, roll back to down dog. Take a breath in, a breath out, and then bend the knees, look forward, hop, skip, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift as you inhale, exhale, fold, root through the feet, inhale, rise all the way up, and then let's flow straight on. So exhale, fold forwards, and then keep going. 2 more rounds. At the end of the second round, we'll meet back in down dog. And when you're back in down dog, if you want to come down into child's pose and take a rest, then by all means do. Otherwise, just hold your down dog before we start to move into the flow. Looking good, everyone. The other thing I should have said is you can always do your sun salutations from tabletop rather than down dog if that's more comfortable. So we'll meet in down dog at the end of your second one. So good to see you guys moving. So back in your down dog, when you're ready, we're going to very slowly lift the right leg. So we're in a 3-legged dog. Really press out through that foot. I don't mind if the toe is pointed or if the foot's flexed, but get some energy through that leg. On your inhale, next inhale, rise right up on the ball of the left foot. So you're super high, super tall. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend your right knee, roll the body forward. So you're almost in a high plank, and then land that right foot. If it doesn't land in between the hands, that's fine. Give it a helping hand. Let's face it, we all need a helping hand at the moment. Find that long, low lunge. Lift the chest away from the thighs just for a moment and hover your hands. Let's build some strength here. Press out through the left heel. And then slowly bring the hands down. Soften down onto the left knee, top of the left foot. Left hand stays on the inside of the right foot. We're going to draw the right hand forward and then lift the fingertips up to the sky. Describe a circle or something that looks vaguely like a circle or an oval. Draw the arm around. Do 2 more in that direction. And then reverse. So sweep the arm back. And notice how the position of the palm is probably going to change as you circle the hand. Feel how the shoulder blade is moving on the shoulder. And then at the end of that third rotation, your right hand comes down on the inside of the right foot. And you may want to stay down on the flats of the palms or come up onto fingertips. But think about length through the front body. The other thing is it may be that you want to just wiggle that right foot out to the side a little bit more to give yourself a bit more space. So we're in a high chested lizard. Breathing here. And then come down more onto the knuckles and the palms. We're going to lift back up onto the ball of the left foot. Then we're going to swivel the feet around to the side and move through some Skandhasanas, some snake squats. So they could be high, you could just have a gentle bend, one knee to the other, or you could come down really deep. You could even, not sure I'm up to it this evening, move from side to side without using your hands. Whichever way you go, think about channeling the fluidity of a snake. If you've got the soundtrack on, if you're on Caribou now, it's quite fluid. Again, thinking about that energy moving fluidly through the body, not finding any impediments. And that's what we're doing with this movement. We're just keeping the energy moving. We'll do one more, and then next time you are with the left leg bent, stay there. You're going to walk your hands around to the back of your mat. The feet are going to swivel, so you're facing in the opposite direction. Firmly plant your left foot, hands down slightly in front of that left foot, so it's almost like you're making a triangle. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, press down through the hands in that left foot, and then next inhale, spring the right leg up into a standing split. Doesn't have to be super high, may not be. Make sure you're not locking out the left leg. And for this round, we're just going to stay with the hands down. And then come light onto your fingertips, grip muscle to bone in that left leg, and slowly bring yourself up to a warrior 3. Clasp the palms together in prayer. Crown of the head reaching towards the back of the mat. Press out through that right leg. One more breath. And then soften the left knee, land the right foot back behind you, but not such a wide stance. We're going to come into pyramid. If it feels a little bit unstable and wobbly, then move that left foot further out. Hands on hips. Aiming to keep the pelvis neutral because it might want to swing to the side. Inhale, think length through the front body, and then exhale, fold the torso forward. We'll come to a relatively flat position, little bend in the knees. And then you could stay with the hands on the hips. You could bring them into prayer. You could reach them down to the floor. You could bring them behind you like an aeroplane, or really strong, reach them out in front of you, building some strength around the shoulder girdle. Stay with the breath. And then look down, bend into that left foot, bring the hands down and hop your right foot further back so you're back in your runner's lunge. And then we're going to turn both feet parallel with the short side of the mat, walk the hands around as well into a wide-legged forward fold. So maybe the big toes turn slightly in. That must make it a little bit more accessible. Also, kind of counterintuitively, the wider you have your legs, the easier the forward fold will be. And then just let the crown of the head reach down towards the floor. If you've got a lot of space here and you're fairly open, you could grab hold of your big toes, use those to draw the body down further. I'm not going to go all the way because my earpieces will fall out. Breathing. For 3, for 2, for 1. And then from here, you're going to inhale up about halfway and then walk the hands back round to the front of the mat, swivel the feet, drop that left knee down again. Inhale, sweep the arms up, squeeze the inner thighs together. And then exhale, hands down either side of the right foot. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot. Can you quietly lift back to plank? And then journey back to down dog, however you want to get there. That could be a vinyasa, that could be a roll, that could be simply just hoiking the hips back to down dog. And we'll get ready to take that on the other side. So when you're ready, lift the left leg. And again, either point or flex the foot, doesn't matter, but feel the energy coming up through the leg. And then come really high on the ball of the right foot. Nice slow in breath. And then as you exhale, bend the left knee, roll the knee forward and land the left foot down. Doesn't matter if you need a couple of helping hands to get it into position. From here, the right hand stays down on the inside of the left foot, left knee comes down, and then inhale, sweep the left arm forward. And as you exhale, take it round in a circle. Going to do 3 in one direction. And then take it back in the opposite direction. At the end of the 3rd rotation, in the 2nd direction, you're going to bring that left hand on the inside of the left foot. Maybe the left foot wants to walk out to the side a little bit. Maybe you want to come up onto fingertips. Draw the front of the body long. Find your lizard. And then walk the hands back in. Going to lift up onto the ball of the right foot and then move into your snake squats. Again, channeling that fluid movement side to side, making sure the breath stays as your guide to how slow, how fast, what height you want to be. Do a couple more. And then next time you are over with the right knee bent, you're going to walk the hands around and come into the runner's lunge. Walk the hands slightly in front of that right foot so they form a tripod. Press down through the right foot as you exhale, and then as you inhale, spring up into your standing splits. Really active through that standing leg, energized through the raised leg. And then come light on the fingertips and gently bring yourself up. I say gently, into your warrior 3. Energy through that back leg, that raised leg. Length, crown of the head reaching forwards. One more breath. Little bends into the right leg. Land the left leg down, set yourself up for pyramid. Hands on hips. Make any adjustments to your base. Deep breath in, and then exhale, fold, length through the spine. And then find a hand position that works for you. One more breath. And then we're going to bend into that right leg, both hands down, hop the left leg back so you're in that high runner's lunge, and then walk the hands around to the long sides of the mat, swivel on both feet into our wide-legged forward fold. So this time we're going to turn the hands so that the fingers face away from you and walk them back behind. It might take you a little bit deeper. You might feel more of a stretch through the lower back. Two more breaths. And then bring your hands back. Going to walk the hands back around to the front of the mat. Drop down onto the right knee. Inhale, lift the arms up. One more breath. And then hands both come down. Step back to plank. Take a moment here just to tune in. How do you want to get back to down dog? And we'll meet back in down dog. And we're going to run through that sequence one more time. We won't spend as long in each shape. We might just have one or two little opportunities to play. Let's just all take a shared breath together though, before we come through the sequence once more. So taking a breath in through the nose. Open the mouth slightly and let the breath go. So it's not an aggressive sigh, but there's just a releasing. Maybe two more like that. Inhale and exhale. One more. And then inhale, lift the right leg. On your next inhale, come high on the ball of the left foot. Exhale, right foot forward in between the hands. Drop down onto the left knee. Left hand stays on the inside of the right foot. And this time we're just going to inhale, lift the right arm up to the ceiling. So opening the chest to the side. You may feel like you want to have a bind here. So bend the right elbow, bring the back of the right hand onto the lower left hip. And you can always use that as a slight lever to open a little bit wider. One more breath. And then unwind right hand on the inside of the right foot. Maybe the right foot walks out a little bit. In fact, let's all walk the right foot out to the side and then keep the heel where it is and turn the toes out to, I think that's about 2 o'clock. You could even roll onto the outside edge, the pinky toe edge of that right foot. You may want to bring your right hand onto the inner right thigh and roll the flesh anti-clockwise, so up towards the ceiling. And just notice how maybe that gives you a little more feeling of opening through the hip. If anybody feels that they want a quad stretch, the option is always to then lift that back leg. You're not on the kneecap, you're slightly in front of the kneecap. Take that right arm behind, palm facing the long side of the mat. Grab hold of the pinky toe edge of that back foot and draw it in, heel to butt. It's just an option if you've got the space. 3, 2, 1. If you've got that back leg, softly let it go. Going to bring the right hand down. Bring the right foot so it's facing the front of the mat again. Lift up onto the ball of the back foot. And we're going to take 3 snake squats. So 1 to the left, 1 back to the right knee bent, 1 back to the left, and then walk the hands around to the back of the mat, swivel on the feet, press down through the left foot, right hand, left hand in front so you've got a tripod, and spring up into your standing splits. Soft with that left knee. If you want to explore balance here, you could maybe take that right hand onto the back of the left leg. If that feels stable, you could even take the left hand. Crown of the head reaches down for the floor. Bring the hands back. Slowly rise up to warrior three. Little bit of a bend into that left leg. Land the right foot for your pyramid. And then exhale, draw the torso forward. Make sure you're not locking out your knees. And find an arm variation. Maybe reaching forward. And then soften that left knee, bring the hands down, hop back with that right leg, long runner's lunge. Walk the hands around. So wide-legged forward fold. If you like tripod headstands and want to invert here, if you can do so safely and it's in your practice, by all means take that option now. Two more breaths. If you're playing with tripod headstand, bring yourself safely and slowly down. And then we're going to walk our hands back round to the front of the mat. Drop down onto the back knee, sweep the arms up, reach high, even a little back bend. Exhale, hands down either side of the front foot, lift back to plank, and then make your way back to down dog. The second side. And then when you're ready, left leg lifts high. Inhale up onto the ball of the right foot, energize through that left leg. As you exhale, bring the left foot forward, land it in between the hands. Drop down onto the right knee, top of the right foot. Right hand stays down. Inhale the left arm up. Feeling that stretch through the front of the chest. And then options would be to bend the elbow, take it into a half bind. Lift the left arm up if you're binding, and then as you exhale, bring it on the inside of the left foot. We're going to walk the left foot out to the side, keep the heel down, turn the toes out to somewhere around about 11 o'clock. Right hand could stay down. If you roll onto the pinky toe edge of that left foot, maybe draw the thigh again. It's a clockwise direction this time. To draw the flesh, the inner thigh flesh up towards the top of the thigh bone. An option is always there to bend that back knee, extend the left arm back, palm facing the long side of the mat, coming into the quad stretch. Two more breaths. And then gently let go of that leg. Bring the left hand back down. And then we're going to turn into the snake squats. 3, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the right again. And then walking the hands around, swivel on the feet. So set the right foot and the hands up as a tripod. Exhale, press down through the right foot, and inhale, lift the left leg high. Opportunity to play with balance. Maybe if it's a day where the anxiety levels are high, then playing with balance isn't what's going to serve you. Actually just feeling super connected and grounded through those 3 solid points would work better. If you're playing with balance, bring your hands back down, come up onto fingertips. We'll take that tough transition into warrior three. And then slowly on an exhale, land that left foot down. Set yourself up for your pyramid. And exhale, breathe into your pyramids, any arm variation, micro bend through the knees, hips parallel, long, long spine. And then a little bend into the right leg, bring the hands down, hop the left foot back so you're in the long runner's lunge. And then we're going to walk the hands around. Come into a wide-legged forward fold, and then this time we're going to toe heel the feet in a little bit, and then turn the toes out and slowly rise up into a goddess squat. Bring the hands into goalposts. Sit down. A little bit of movement. 3, for 2, for 1. Rise up. Pivot on both feet. Bring your hands down. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, reach up. Last time. And then exhale, hands down. Lift up, make your way back to down dog. And then from your down dog, come down into child's pose. And once you get down to child's pose, smooth out the breath. And then from your child's pose, bring yourself up to tabletop. Bump the hips, doesn't matter which side. Swing your legs forward. Have a slight bend, excuse me, in the knees, or even quite a lot of a bend. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, just come forward. Round into the upper back, let the head hang heavy. And then maybe the legs straighten a little bit into a deeper forward fold. Feel as if the body is lengthening towards the feet. It's getting some stretch and release through the back body. Before we come down to take final rest. And then from here, use your hands to support you. Use an inhale to gently bring yourself back up to an upright position. And then slowly use the exhale to roll down all the way onto the back body. Once you're all the way down, gently draw the knees into your chest, hug them in. And then when you're ready, drop the knees over to the left. Arms could be wide or they could be goalposts. Or actually they could just be down by your side, or you could have your right arm on your left thigh. So not only twisting the body, but sending that almost subliminal signal that we are coming towards the end, towards our rest. Draw the knees back up to center and use an exhale to take them over to the other side. And then draw the knees back to center. And allow yourself to gently release down, coming to Shavasana. So wrap up. Get cozy. And I hope it's okay. We're going to overrun just a little bit. The timing's slightly off this evening. So once you come to a comfortable position, lying down, and that might not be just lying straight out, that could be knees bent in constructive rest or lying on your side. Maybe take a couple of gentle sighing breaths, so in through the nose and then exhale, let the breath go. And then coming to that sense of dropping down into your body, that sense of feeling the earth underneath you, holding you. Can you find those spaces in the breath cycle between the inhale and the exhale, and the exhale and the inhale? Maybe as you lie in stillness, you can feel the energy moving through the body, the energy that's always there. Sometimes we lose connection to it. And it's inside us, but it's all around us as well. So that energy connects us all together. And then gently, without moving, start to bring awareness back into your body, into your breath. And when you're ready, maybe allow gentle movement to come back in. But actually, if you want to stay in Shavasana longer, you stay as long as you need. Your practice. If you are ready to transition out, then take whatever stretches, whatever movements, allow the body to gently wake. And when you're ready, roll over onto your side and then softly, gently, kindly bring yourself up into a position that's comfortable. Rest the hands anywhere that's comfortable. Let the eyes be softly closed or gazing down. And just make sure that there's no tension around the eye sockets. And then just as we close, just want you to take your hands onto the top of your head and gently stroke them down a couple of times. And then bring the hands around to the neck, stroke them down and onto the chest a couple of times. And then down over the chest into the belly area. And just gently circle the hands around. So the vagus nerve is close to the skin in these areas. We're just gently stimulating it, stimulating that rest response. And then bring the hands together in heart center. Bow your head, tuck your chin. Let the breath be super soft, super gentle. Thank you so much for sharing your Monday evening with me. Have a good week, everyone. It's lovely to see you. Namaste. So I will